Something I've been getting asked for nearly 10 years now, for about 8, 9 years, is when it comes to accounting. So students that are perhaps finishing school or college in the UK, should I study accounting at university, or should I go straight into uh, work experience? And that's that route. So effectively, that route is basically where you you apply as an apprentice, the apprentice route for accountancy. You apply as an apprentice with an experienced firm. They pay you minimum wage, maybe even less than minimum apprentice wage, but then they pay for your exams and you gain experience on the job. Or should you go to accounting? And honestly speaking, I don't think society will tell you this, but I'll tell you straight from my experiences and from what I constantly see. Just a bit of background about myself. The reason I'm very familiar with this whole thing is because I've done both. So I did a bit of self-study, then I went to university, and then I did the apprentice route. So I've done everything, and also I've been tutoring accountancy students, tax students as well, from top 10 firms, the big four, top 100 firms. I've been tutoring many students, and I get these questions. And ACCA, CTA for taxation, have these qualifications. So just in case I don't want you to think I don't know what I'm talking about. I definitely know what I'm talking about. And my answer or my advice is always the same. It's straightforward, which is for accountancy, there's no need for you to go to university. I explain why. I'm not just going to say something and just press the stop button there. So what should we do first? I think I'll go through the negatives first of studying accountancy at university, and then I'll offset it against the positives or the pros of going into paid work experience. The opposite, you can figure out yourself, but I'll probably make mention of it as well. Basically, look, it's straightforward. When it comes to studying accountancy at university, we know in the UK it's 9k per annum. Okay, just the tuition fee is 9k per annum. The year I enrolled onto university, so basically I made a few mistakes in my life. I finished university. If I went straight to university, I would have been on the 3k per annum. Okay, so the year I finished, if I enrolled straight away to university, that was the last year of £3,000 per year of full university fees. And if it was £3,000 per annum, my answer might have been a bit different, but it hasn't changed. It's still 9k per annum just on tuition fees. Forget anything else. Forget maintenance and looking after yourself and other expenses. So yeah, I think it's a good idea if I tell you my story first. It'll increase the watch time as well, which is good for my channel. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. But what I decided to do is do the self-study route for ACCA. So F1, F2, F3. F1 is Introduction to Business. F2 was, I'm not too sure, I don't think it's changed, no. F2 is Management Accounting, and F3 is Financial Accounting. I said I'll do these 3 exams and then do F4, F5, F6, F7. But that's just self-study. I didn't apply to any sort of firm yet at that time. I said I'll just study first, 1 year properly, get used to it. I did study accounting at college, A level, and I think I got a B or C. Could have got a lot higher, but I used to mess around a little bit. So that's fine. Okay, and then what happened is I did F1, F2, F3, though it's just online exams, very straightforward. But to self-study, you have to have a lot of discipline, which I definitely did not have. Even till now, I struggle with discipline sometimes, just to be clear. But then as an 18-year-old, I was completely off point, so no discipline. And then I started seeing my friends going to university, having a good time, telling me all these stories. We did this, we did that, freshers, whatever. And I said, I want to live the uni experience, and I enrolled to a local university, De Montfort University in Leicester. So, okay, so now I've enrolled to university and I find out, imagine, they don't tell you this. And many students probably still don't know. You can, if you're watching this and you're still planning to go to university, it'll be quite beneficial. But they told me, I had to look into it, and I stumbled across something. And I found out that if I've done F1, F2, F3 of ACCA, which cost me £1,000 max, okay, it cost me £1,000 max, because the exams were like 200 quid, books probably like, I don't know, 70, 80, 100, even if it's 100 quid, it's about 900. Cost me £1,000 max. I found out that if I've done F1, F2, F3 at ACCA, I can jump straight into second year university. And we need to keep in mind that first year does not count towards your final grade. It's second year is 20 in accounting and finance degree. Second year is 25%, and final year makes up 75% of your final score or your grade. First, second, third, first class, honors, and the rest of it. So I had to push them and I had to explain to them that because I've completed F1, F2, F3, I should go straight into second year, and they agreed because they knew that this is the case. But they don't ever tell you why, because they want your £9,000. This is what people don't understand. This £9,000 is the key negative. And when I talk about the positives of the apprentice route, you'll definitely understand why I always advise not to go the university route if you want to have a career in accounting. Look, the only reason to go through the uni route is if you want the university experience, and that's for you to decide. If you really want the university experience, like going out and this, that, then that's up to you. That is a bit short-sighted. That's extremely short-sighted, because it's temporary pleasures or enjoyment, because not all that, and most people will tell you that as well. And I think it's a bit of a foolish decision to spend this much money, which is 27 grand over 3 years. So what happened to me is I was allowed to jump into second year, but because this was the next year now, so the uni fees had changed to 9 grand. So I had to take out a student loan. So I took out the full student loan for 9 grand, and then I took out the full maintenance loan and the maintenance grant. I took out the full work, which I think turned out to be about 13 grand for the year. So, foolish mistakes for myself as well. If I went straight to university, it'd be 3 grand per annum, which is 9 grand for the 3 years, which is fine. But now it'd be 9 grand, and then I'd have third year left, which would be 18 grand. So I'm still saving 9 grand or 8 grand, because I paid £1,000 for the tuition myself and passed the exams myself for ACCA. So I'm paying, so basically, I paid £1,000 rather than 9, so I saved 8 grand. Okay, so are you following so far? Now, me being foolish and immature and stupid, what do I go and do? I failed that second year. So I had to retake the year anyway. So I had to pay for the full 3 years, 9, 18, 27 grand. I made no saving. And imagine, I finished the second year, and then, so I failed the first time I sat second year, then I passed, and then I go into third year, and guess what I find out? This is ridiculous. I find out, and now obviously everything's like, you're so weaning off the hype of the uni life or whatever, all that rubbish. And what do I find out? Is if I completed F4, F5, F6 at ACCA level, I would have had the opportunity, or I'm entitled to jump straight into third year. Imagine that. So keep this in mind. This is something you might want to pursue instead, which is a hybrid or blended approach, which is do F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, maybe even do it in a year, and then go straight into final year, pay 9 grand. That's fine. You still get the degree. If you're really after that degree, which is that piece of paper that nobody asks about, that's the other benefit, the uni experience, but then that piece of paper that I've got a degree. Honestly speaking, nobody asks about the degree. In the accountancy industry, the tax industry, the finance industry, I've never come across it. And I've worked myself to a high level where I'm the owner of a tax advisory firm. And if I'm hiring a candidate, I would never ever ask about whether they have an accountancy degree or not. So keep that in mind. So, imagine they don't tell you this, then they would never advertise this to you. Why? Because they want your 9 grand. That's what they want to offer you. So I'm completely against going to university, and I'm against going to university for many degrees, not just the accountancy and finance industry, but there's many. The only degrees I would say are worth having or that you need to have is very specific. So for example, if you want to become a doctor, you have to have a degree, pharmacist, engineer. In fact, the engineering, it might be similar to accountancy. If you know what you're doing, some people, they have no idea what they want to do in life, and they choose the most random degrees, such as international relations, business management, random degrees which is not going to business management. 1% of students will start running a business. The rest of them are just doing it for the hype. Law, you probably need a degree, that's fine. You have the law students, they think they're better than everyone else when when I know how the law industry is, and I know how the pay is not that good to begin with. You don't get treated too well, but then at university they just act like they're everything. It's funny. Even like pharmacy students, they behave as if they run the world, that they're better than everyone else. Dentistry students, when they don't understand it in the real world, the pay will be capped at a certain point. After a few years, they'll be capped at 50-60K per annum. So just always remain humble. Trust me, like I've seen it all, and I see it now as well, and I see where everyone is, and alhamdulillah, I thank God to where I am in terms of my current status and position. Anyways, so as I was saying, wasted 27 grand. So immediately by the time I graduate, I get that silly piece of paper, and then but I'm in 27 grand debt, plus let's add another 10 grand. 10 grand is being conservative, it might be more. Let's just 13 grand. So I finished the accountancy and finance degree. I get that silly piece of paper, but I'm in £40,000 debt. And so forget the debt, but I have not a single day of experience in the accountancy field. As my first manager, Alistair, used to mention, he used to say uni students, they have these fancy degrees, but they don't know how to balance the bank. And this is so true, because when I went in, my story is a bit different, because luckily my group in the advanced financial reporting assignment, we scored 99%. And the top 3 groups, we had to present to a local accountancy firm, which is very established. It's been around for about 50 years at that time. They had this award called the Hales Award. So the top 3 firms present the assignment to the directors, the partners of this firm, and then the best group, they basically they win. We got some cash prize as well, I think, but we also win 2 weeks of work experience. So we sort of fast tracking our way into the industry. Remember, most uni students, they get the degree. I swear, wallahi, like I know students that studied way harder than me. They got a first class. I just passed with a third. And they're working in Asda, pushing trolleys. Now, I'm not saying this to look down on anyone. I'm just saying you need to be careful. And this, alhamdulillah, was a blessing which allowed me to, I'm saying alhamdulillah because I'm a Muslim, in case you're wondering, or you might have seen other videos on my channel. I'm aware that my channel has other aspects on it, from a religious angle and the rest of it, but I'm just trying to benefit you with what my experience is, my mentality, the circumstances that I've been through. So I hope you benefit. What was I saying? Yeah, let's go back to balancing the bank. So, oh yeah, no, we won the award, so we had to present our assignment, and we won the award, and we got 2 weeks each. Two of the four members of the group who carried me through literally my final year, they already had because they did the 1 year after second year, between second and third year, you can do a 1 year industry experience. So they did that. They had their job secured. Me and the other girl, we did our 2 weeks each. The firm then offered me an extra 4 weeks of unpaid work experience. And then from there, they offered me a permanent full-time role. I say full-time, but I used to work 4 days a week. I've always had Fridays off. I've never worked Fridays. They offered me an unpaid role 4 days a week. And that's how I fast-tracked myself into the accountancy industry, where others who scored much better than me, worked way harder than me, have still not gotten. It's quite competitive. Okay, and this is why experience is key. Now, when you finish university, you do not know how to balance the bank, and balancing the bank as an accountant, if you know, is step number one. Is debits, credit. Most people don't even know debits, credits. They learn about all this fancy, exotic stuff in the final year of groups and demergers and international tax havens and like multi corporations. 1% of students would go into that industry, but they don't know how to balance the bank. They don't know debit and credit. And all these valuable skills you only learn by experience. And this is why I fully support the apprentice route. And I'll go into that now, which is you start out at the age of 16 or 18, depends whether you go college or not. Okay. And you take a role, you take minimum wage or less than minimum wage, which is apprentice wage, but you're still getting paid for your experience. So notice the difference. Going to university, you're starting to take out loans. Over here, there's not a single loan inside. Rather, you'll start to get paid. It'll put you into the mindset of the working life. I swear, uni students, when they finish university, they have no clue, no understanding of how the working life is. Myself included, that's how I was. I had no idea how it was. When you're at university, you're in this little bubble where you think you know everything, and life just revolves around your university. The working life is completely different. This apprentice route, it makes you wake up. Again, university, nobody's on your case. So there's the disciplines coming from yourself. You can attend lectures if you want. When you go into the apprentice route, you have to wake up at 7, 8 in the morning. You have to wear, at that time we had to wear, shirt and trouser, tie, blazer. It's changed now, obviously, and you have working from home, but still it improves your punctuality skills, your timekeeping skills, where you have to wake up, you have to be there at a certain time, or you have to log in at a certain time. And these are skills you don't learn at university. You're getting paid, you have not a single penny of debt, and you start learning about debits, credits, and you're applying. Honestly, this is another key difference between university and actual work experience, actual life apprenticeship, which is you applying the knowledge. At uni, you're learning all these fancy stuff. You're learning the most fanciest things, as I say, international groups, holding companies, parent subsidiary. Nobody cares. Honestly, nobody cares. Debits, credits you learn, but that first year where you learn it, it doesn't count towards your final grade. So most students just mess around and just scrape through anyway. Okay, and honestly, it's crazy. Debits, credits is the backbone of accountancy. Dead click. Or what's the other one? Pearls. Most people don't know about pearls. PEAOLS. Just keep an eye, just keep following me, because I'll have a course very soon which is titled Accountancy in 5. And it'll be an online course where you learn accountancy in 5 minutes with about 100 episodes. It's going to be groundbreaking, I hope. So keep following, and I'll do the same for taxation as well. On the job, you're getting paid to gain experience, invaluable experience, timekeeping, punctuality, organization, responsibility. That responsibility is such a key word which you learn. Discipline. You start to manage accounts. You manage client accounts. You start applying debits and credits, balancing the bank reconciliations, trial balance, profit and loss account. You're actually seeing the software churn out figures. You are inputting figures. You're seeing how staff communicate with each other, how the manager communicates with the partner, how instructions are brought down from manager down to you, or you might have someone else looking over you. It depends how big the firm is. But I was directly under the manager, who had many years of experience, over like 30 years of experience. And trust me, every single day, just the experience brushes off from you. The others' experience, the partner's experience, your manager's experience, your other colleagues' experience, it brushes off on you. Every day you're learning like 10 new things that you can never learn at university. You're applying the knowledge, you're balancing the bank. Uni students, after 3 years of international groups, they have no idea how to balance the bank. So these, I've probably mentioned like 4 benefits already. 1 is no debt. 2 is getting paid. 3 is the experience that you're just picking up every day. And number 4 is application of knowledge. And, number 5 is, after 3 years of apprenticeship compared to 3 years of the guy or the girl that went to university, you come out with, they pay for your exams as well. That's benefit number 5 or 6. They pay for your exams. Okay. And after 3 years, if you compare the two, you tell me which one's better off. One is in 40 grand debt, has no experience in the accountancy industry, has no understanding of work life. And the other one, so let's say that's Joe. We have Hannah on the other hand. She went into apprenticeship. She has not a penny of debt. She's nearly completed her exam, so she's nearly chartered. She's got 3 years experience under her belt. She's probably moved up to an assistant manager position, honestly speaking, because age doesn't really matter. You can move up quickly in the accountancy industry. And, so many life skills, so many experiences, client-facing experiences. They don't teach you that at university, how to deal with a client, how to sell to a client, how to manage client workload. It's obvious. I'm not going to, they won't tell you this. I'm telling you straight that the apprenticeship route in accountancy and many other industries as well, think about it, is way better. I'm starting to feel tired and I need to have something to eat, so I'm going to cut it short there. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Share it with those who may also benefit. I hope you gain some benefit, and hit me up if you need some accountancy and tax advice, and follow me because I'll have a massive groundbreaking course coming out very soon. Speak to you soon.